Okay. All right, Jen. So I just wanted, we were talking about this too before, but I wanted to just do a quick little video talking about signs. And we had talked about it a while ago about how our loved ones communicate with us, but I loved how you had said that you ask for a specific sign. And the last couple, days or this last week too, I've been talking a lot about signs and how to talk to spirit and ask them for a specific sign. So after our session last time, I did a reading for somebody and I was saying to them, I said, we'll ask for something like a flamingo, right? And I'll have you tell your story. But um, after I got off with her, I was watching a TV show, right? And on the lawn was a ton of flamingos, right? So they came through me to deliver the message to her, but it was because that's what we were talking about. So I want to have that a little bit of an understanding of how to ask for signs and your experience with it. How has that worked for you?
Yeah, that actually has worked for both of us. If I get a sign and tell you about it, I'm finding that you're also getting that sign and vice versa, which is actually really funny. Um, but it actually started 4 years ago when my little brother died. He was sending signs right away to my father and I. We were seeing them quite a bit. Like we would ask for like a feather, and the next day it would be we saw a beautiful bird but it was dead in the driveway. We're like, okay, we just wanted one feather. We didn't need a whole bird. So he kept sending those signs. Numbers are very strong in my family for my father, and he would keep sending his birthday to my father. Well, one morning we were sitting there, and my dad looked at his phone. He said, "Look, it's 8:39." And I said, "Oh, okay. Well, it adds up to 20." I said, "Well, that's your sign, Dad. That's a sign for you." And just then, a big um, bright light appeared in the sky. And I said, "Wow, Dad, what is that?" And we both looked at it, and I grabbed my camera and started snapping pictures. And it was a full face picture of my brother in the sky, like just confirming, "Yeah, that's my sign to you, Dad." So I was trying to show him, and we both saw it. And I said, "Wow, that looks like Eric." And he's like, "Yeah, I thought so too, but I didn't want to say anything." So my brother would keep sending
Wow.
signs like that, numbers, music. So I lost my best friend last summer, and she was my person. We were very connected with work, our family. We raised our children together. We vacationed together. We were connected in every way possible. Spiritually, we were soulmates. And so when she passed away, I had a hard time the very first day. I know we were communicating because I didn't feel her or hear her at that moment. And I was bothered because I couldn't feel her like I did my brother, but my grief in that first couple days were so bad that I just couldn't. Well, then she started sending me signs, and they were very evident, and they would come through you. And then I started getting specific, and I started asking for certain things, and it would take about a week, some. And the flamingo was one of them. I was getting ready to go on vacation, and I asked for a flamingo maybe a few weeks before. And I went online to look for a tablecloth, and the first one that popped up was a flamingo. So I said, okay, I got to buy it because it was a vacation that she always went with us on that. And then after that, I kept seeing flamingos. It would be intensified. I saw the flamingos in the yard. It'd be funny commercial. And so one time I said, okay, I've seen the flamingo enough, but it keeps building memento. I still see it. I saw it yesterday. So one night I was sitting there watching a show, laughing, thinking this would be a show she would love to watch with me. It's ridiculous. It's funny. And a commercial came on with a funny flamingo commercial, and I said, okay, how about something new, something different? So it was July. I picked a leprechaun. Very rare. You would see it in the summer. And that was the fastest sign I received. The very next scene that came on the screen was a leprechaun in it, and I was floored. I thought, wow, wow. And this
Yeah.
kept happening to the point where you just can't deny it. So then I would start just picking random things. I picked a zebra, which represented neuroendocrine cancer. And I gave it about a week, and I didn't see it for a week. So on the way to the store, I said, well, how about we pick something else? I'll pick a peacock. And then I went to the store to pick out a birthday card for my granddaughter. And the first card I picked up was a peacock card. And then the zebra started. It would be something funny. There was an escaped zebra that was running through the yard, and then it was captured to the sky. So it was always something she would make me laugh as well. Um,
Yeah, because she had such a good sense of humor,
mhm,
right?
yeah.
So that was also her way of bringing forward the sign. It
Hmm.
wasn't just the animal, but it was in funny ways she was bringing them through too,
For
which I
sure.
love that, right? That was like
Mm,
even her sense of humor and her personality coming through.
for sure.
Yeah.
When it was hard to laugh, when I was trying to find that joy, she would bring those signs, and there was no doubt about it. There were times when you would message me, does this mean anything to you? One time it was a daisy, and that's my birth flower, but also we were just discussing that I received a beautiful daisy award for nursing through the hospital, and she was just acknowledging that she knows all about it. She constantly will confirm stuff like that through music, numbers. Um, then we recently went to a birthday party for my granddaughter, and I picked up something. I try to pick something very rare, so it's not something common. So I picked a hedgehog. I want to see a hedgehog, not Sonic the Hedgehog, because I see it all the time with my grandchildren. I want to see a real, a hedgehog. And the following week, went to a birthday party, and there was a stuffed animal hedgehog in the corner of this home, and I was floored. I was like, "This is you can't deny this." So I said, "Okay." The next week, I'm going to pick a cockatiel. I want to see a cockatiel. Um, the following week,
This is the reason I wanted to do the video was because of that photo.
mhm,
That whole thing was this part was just like unbelievable because
mhm,
Nicole has sent you so many signs all along, and you're right. And
mhm,
what you had said too is that you were picking a sign and just saying, I want to see it this week, which I really liked. That was such a good way to do it. And
mhm.
then this ended up happening. So sorry, go ahead, because I love this. This was unbelievable to me.
Right, it's so beautiful. A couple weeks ago, we lost a coworker from pancreatic cancer, and she was diagnosed 2 months prior to my best friend. So they were a good support for each other. They were chemo buddies. They really helped each other out. Oh, I just got chills all over my body right now. Um,
Yeah.
she passed away unfortunately last week, and had to go to the funeral, and it was very difficult for me. And I was talking to her all day. Nicole, take care of Emily. I know you have her. You had sent me a rock that you found that day, and it said smile, and I knew it had a daisy on it too, and I knew that was from Nicole. Well, then I go to the funeral, and I'm looking at all the pictures of Emily, and on top of her head in one of her pictures was a big cockatiel, and I went, oh my gosh, that's her way of saying like, oh, a big orb just flew through your window. Oh my, another one. See, just
No, I've seen the orbs flying in here when you were talking,
yeah, and
even
that's very rare. That doesn't really show up because you block that, but that's yep, their way of showing. That's so cool, and that's always a way. We've had sessions where there's been a burst of spirits. It's beautiful, but I took it as that was her way of saying, she does have her, but I still my mouth dropped open, and I do share it with the person I'm next to. I always share with you, but they're getting stronger and stronger, just like that, and more frequent. And then I'll keep getting those same signs. So it's been very healing for me through the hardest time of my life to know that she is still around. My brother's still around. They send us signs all the time that they're helping us. Um, every day. In fact, sometimes we miss those signs. We'll ask for it, then we miss it. I did it with you. I asked for a penguin. Then I send you a little meme of two penguins snuggling and didn't even realize the next day. I'm like, that was that I saw the penguin. I sent it to her. And it took me a day to realize. So sometimes they're right in front of our face and we don't see it because we're distracted. I have a really hard time slowing down. So coming into my dreams, coming in that way is hard. So the signs like that are the best thing for me to recognize that she's with me. And I love it. It's a fun game that we play that keeps me connected to her that way. That keeps it light instead of heavy and emotional. Like if I was to connect into meditation with her or otherwise. It's been a really fun, light thing to do with her.
I love it so much. And
Mhm,
thank you for sharing that because I really felt strongly that it was important to do that because like you said, it's been so healing and so helpful. And I think it can get confusing when we're asking for signs and how to do that and how to receive signs and what does that mean,
mhm,
And yes, Nicole has been coming through me bringing signs to you. And you're right. I didn't even realize that, like you said, with the smile and the daisy on there and how significant those things have been. and I love how she's communicating with me and doing that. I know, right? You see the orbs are flying through here today. That's so cool. So I feel like too what you were saying with Emily, right? Because Emily and Nicole worked together. And
Mm-hmm.
so you had asked for that, the cockatiel, right? And then you see a picture of Emily with the cockatiel on her head. I mean, it was sitting on her head. I just was like, you've got to be kidding me. That was unbelievable,
Hmm.
and that's what I love. Like you said, you ask for things that are rare. You ask for leprechaun, the 1 week. And I like how you've given it a week too for it to show up and to see how it's showing up in different ways. Like you said, like the hedgehog, and how you didn't even see it right away because you took the picture and it was a little girl's birthday party or something, and the hedgehog was a stuffed animal in the corner, and you didn't notice it until you went back to go look at the picture, I think it was, or something.
And no, I
And
did notice it at the party, and I was, yeah, really snapping pictures. I was just floored. I just happened to be on the floor playing with her, and then I look over and saw it. But yeah, I did notice it at that moment. Hmm.
yeah, it was just those kinds of things are the way that spirit will communicate with us, right? And like you said, it helps to keep it light and it helps you to be able to connect with them. And I know like your brother with Eric, like he'll bring forward, I see his like name on a license plate.
Same.
Or yeah, and I love how they're showing up. And the other thing I wanted to mention real quick too was like the gnomes. Like you had said, a gnome is a symbol from her too, or that
Mhm.
you were, putting them out. And then I'm seeing these gnomes in the garden when I'm going for a walk, down the street that I've never seen before. So I'm like, look at the gnomes and taking pictures and sending it to you, right? And
Mhm.
I love that because they show up in various ways, right? In different ways that are so significant. And it's also a message from me. So let's say for anybody who like ends up watching this too, is if there's a loved one that you have that um, are missing or whatever, and you're talking about it with a friend and you say, this is my sign, you could be getting signs, they could be getting signs for you too from
Mhm.
that loved one to be passing the messages along.
Mhm.
So, and that's what's happened. I mean, that happens so much for me with people. I get messages for their loved ones and I text people, that their loved ones are coming through me to deliver a message.
It's
Yeah.
really happened all along with Nicole. Early on, when I was sitting in my room, I really have not been able to sit still. I kind of keep busy, and I was sitting in my room rearranging stuff, and I sat down and I pulled out a pair of jeans I meant to give her, a pair of jeans or jean shorts, and I grabbed them like, oh crap, I meant to give these to her. Well, you messaged me like 5 minutes later, and then a pair of jeans popped up in our text message, and you said, I don't even know why that popped up. I've never even seen that emoji just popped up. I go, well, that's because I'm holding them in my hands, literally thinking I should have gave them to her, and she was right there with you confirming. That happens quite a bit with you and I.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
I'm
clear.
like,
And there's been several things like that. There's been several things, but the ones I mentioned they were big. They all are big to me. There's
yeah,
probably thousands I don't notice, but I really try to make a point that,
yes.
nature things, those are all natural things. I mean, when I first lost her, we went up north and I was having a very hard time grieving her. It was 2 months after we lost her. And this little white butterfly wouldn't leave me alone. Just kept following me, following me. So early on, I labeled that as a sign. Well, it is. It's always in my yard. I'll look out my window and it'll just happen to flutter up.
Mm,
So those things aren't coincidence. I'm very aware of that. So I'm
yeah.
just so thankful. It really has helped so much. And you keep mentioning all these signs and how to look for them. And generally, I listen to a lot of podcasts and they'll say that give it about a week when you're trying to get a message or a sign. It really is about a week or less so far.
I love it.
Thank
Thank you so much, Jen, for
you for
sharing
letting me
that.
share.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I love it so much. And I just want to let everybody know to let us know the signs that they get
Yes.
and to be open to the messages that are coming through in various ways. Like you said with the little pants emoji,
Hmm.
right? It's like I that happens to me if I'm texting, right? And I didn't do it. Like I was like, where did that come from? And again, I didn't know. So that's like another message. and how they'll
It
communicate.
happened yesterday. I was texting you and I accidentally text something and your, is it your spirit guide or something? The name came up Dahlia.
Yes, yes, yes. That was so unbelievable. Yes, yes. And I had just called in my guides and my angels because I was going to get a reading.
So
So,
Dahlia was confirming through me. She's right there with you. So it's a beautiful.
yes,
Yep. I love
yes, it's reciprocal. I know, right?
that.
And Dahlia is not a regular to me, a regular name. I don't see it very often. And one time when I was going shopping for flowers, I saw like the name, I think I even posted about
Mm-hmm.
there she was. There was, my spirit guide's name on the
Mm-hmm.
in Home Depot. So
Beautiful.
yeah,
It's there every day if you just pay attention,
yeah.
really are. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Hope
honey.
it helps somebody
I
in
hope
their
so too.
healing
I
journey.
know it will. It
Good.
will.
Great.
Thank you.
You're
All
welcome.
right, honey. Mwah. Love you.
Love you.